Show me the money!
Good evening, everyone, or should I? Yeah, I should say morning. It is 5:15 a.m. here, and I've not got a lick of sleep yet. But, you know, price checking, it just does not wait, does not stop. And this is episode Price Check 15. It is and will be an extravaganza, I'm sure. For those of you unfamiliar with the format, I am going to be grabbing every unidentified piece of gear out of this full stash tab worth of loot, tossing some wisdom scrolls their way, and going through my justifications for prices on each of these items. The whole point being, of course, to teach you people, and possibly even myself, price checking through examples. So, with that said and done, let's get started in no particular order. Just grab it all and fill in the gaps with some little bits and pieces. There we go. All right, Navali. Have I got a load of junk for you today? Probably. We'll see. We'll see. As always, I have one or two items set aside in case everything in here is a dud, which has happened on one or two episodes in the past, but doesn't too frequently. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. Not starting off great. A lot of LE damage on this axe, but no attack speed, no crit multi, and usually on a Vol axe, you ain't looking for LE damage, you're looking for fizz rolls. And we haven't got a single one. Pretty meh life. Not great resistances. Obviously that fire resistance is high, but one good resistance does not save a chest piece, especially if it's lacking in the life department. We would be looking for crit strike chance for spells. Isn't bad, but on an imbued wand, you often want to go for some sort of fizz roll or LE damage rolls. Basically, you want to use this as an attack wand, which means you want local rolls like that, and that's not what we've got. 38 life is too low, and the rest of this does not redeem it. Attack speed with axe is, in my opinion, not worth a augment. Strength, and I wish that mana roll were a life roll. Sadly, it is not to be. Totem life damage with leading physical damage seems synergistic. Like, these are all good things for like a war chief build that bleeds, but you got to think about your priorities when you're putting together a jewel. If you were to put it together yourself, I imagine what you'd want is percent life, because that's the most valuable thing you're getting out of your passive tree in the majority of builds, especially something going Ancestral War Chief. So that's a top priority. If you're going crit multi is then your next most valuable objective, because, well, you don't have a lot of sources of crit multi in the game, so the fact that jewels can roll it multiple times over, that's really, really valuable. It's all about opportunity cost in Path of Exile, and this has passed up on many an opportunity. No life, bad resistances, only a good stat to its name. Goodbye, whatever your name was. Maelstrom Fist. You got a nice name. You got a nice name. Sounds like a sister series to Iron Fist, what Netflix has been doing. Sorry, I've been watching too much TV lately. Cast speed roll is good. Crit strike chance for spells is low, and there's no spell damage though, so rip that wand. It tried though, it really did. Nothing to speak of on that. Spell damage roll, pretty high. No life though. One stat. And actually seeing the same stat as the implicit stat is quite good, because stacking a really high amount of even just a single stat can be quite a problem solver for a lot of builds, but no life, bad resistances, to the trash it goes. I'm sorry, Navali, you're not trash. To the vendor it goes. Generally not looking for stats in your one-hander. What you want on a rapier like this is a lot of elemental damage, attack speed, that sort of thing. We've gone over it in the past. Life is low, dex is high. I'd wish those ratios were inverted. Life is low, no resistance to speak of. 21% attack speed is noteworthy, almost reaching 2 attacks a second, but the LE damage rolls are not in the ballpark I'm looking for. And we've got nothing useful there. Fizz damage one-handed, all resist. Not quite worth a regal in my opinion. Fizz damage with one-handed melee weapons is something that's somewhat sought after. And if you're gonna go for a resist roll on a jewel, which I wouldn't recommend, all res is probably the best one, but I still don't have confidence in a regal on that bad boy. And that is actually the same thing. Okay, sure. Projectile damage, it's a suffix, so it could roll into life as a prefix. I will go ahead and aug that. Fizz damage one-handed, lightning damage. What is up with fizz damage with one-handed melee weapons tonight? Not very synergistic. And not what I'm looking for at all. Alright, well, a dud in every slot in this first inventory, except this one, which hopefully we'll get something good out of. Crit multi with cold skills and projectile damage. Projectile damage does technically scale Frostblades, but only half of it. It's not really a huge priority. And I can't, well, so to say I can't think of any of the cold skills that are really in vogue, but there were Frostbolt miners making the rounds earlier on in the league. I don't quite think that's worth a regal, but you know what? For science's sake, let's see what happens. Attack speed with daggers, which still pushes me towards the Frostblade's camp, but projectile damage is not what people are looking for. Maybe there's something out there that I'm not thinking of. We'll put it up for 5C to start and lower it. I really don't think that that's going to sell too easily. We're gonna put it up for 3C and lower it over time. Probably eventually vendor it. Where's the price check tab? There you are. Let's see what else we have for sale today. Hopefully something more tantalizing than what was in that first inventory's worth. Nothing really to speak of in that one. Interesting jewel, I suppose. And if you want to see me collect all of this junk, you can always catch me live on my Twitch. Links down in the description. I do stream every single day. There's a lot of Octavian to catch. I like you, Fate Shackle. You're a good belt. You're a good belt, but you're going under the Fall. Yeah, it's a cloth belt base. The life isn't amazing. The reduced enemy stun threshold is a little bricky, but the rolls are a nice little collection there. You do want resistances, obviously want life. I say that about almost everything, but then it's got a damage roll too. If we put +1 endurance charges on this bad boy, it's going to be worth a pretty penny. No thank you. No thank you either. Strength, ES, nothing else really there to speak of. Strength and ES is not necessarily a bad combo. Don't want it on a leather belt though. And it doesn't have resistances or damage rolls. And that one's not really got anything to speak of. No life, no movement speed. Well, 18 life. Basically no life. Worse than no life, because you could have crafted better life. Burning damage, crit multi with fire skills. Looks synergistic. There's not a lot of ignite builds out there, though. The death of double dipping really did a number on a lot of builds that would have loved this jewel, so I don't think at this point it's worth regaling. However, this is a jewel that, if you were really, really, really brave, you could throw an annulment at this, take the 50% chance to get rid of crit multi, augment it, maybe hit life, and have a good RF starting base. I don't think it's worth it, currency-wise, but it sounds like fun, and we're going to do it. Sounds like a fun time. Strength, dex, all attribute base, crit multi, flat ES, some fire damage. It's a weird amulet. It's a very weird amulet. We're going to give it the chance to make me some money. I'm going to put it up for a few chaos. Spell damage while dual wielding. No regal it, sure. Crit multi with lightning, no. I'm a little bit more frivolous with my regals this league than I haven't been in the past because of the existence of Harbingers and the fact that they drop regal shards. I've been running a lot of beachheads, as well as other endgame content and stuff, as I said. You can check out the stream. And as such, I've been getting a lot more regal orbs than I usually do. Most leagues that don't have that sort of source of it, god damn that amount of stats on that thing. Sadly, it doesn't have anything else going for it. But yeah, most leagues that wouldn't have that additional source of regal orbs, I'd be a little less frivolous with them. I couldn't think of another synonym. There we go. I hate reusing words. 86 life, bad resistances, and a damage roll. I don't think that's going to sell. Belt market's pretty tight. Lightning damage, attack speed with bows, resistances, and poison? Does not work together. A lot of life on that belt. Only one resist. We'll put it up for a chaos. Probably won't sell. Crit strike chance, not generally people look for in a jewel. That's a lot of int. That is a large amount of int. 51 plus 22 plus 8. 59 plus 22 is 79, 82, 81? 81 int? Holy Jesus. That is quite significant. Quite significant. Sorry. It's a force of habit at this point. 76 life, 29 strength. It's not enough to save the 26 life or on the lack of resists, in my opinion, though. That's a good amount of life, especially including the strength. You got a bad resist, though. Nothing else. If that had some damage rolls on it, that could be salvageable. Rarity, 2 resistances, and a resistance implicit. No life. Put it for a chaos, it might sell. I doubt it. Dex, fire damage, ES, resist, life base. Might have room for life. Again, put it up for a chaos. Probably won't sell. At this point in the league, usually I wouldn't even be doing 1 chaos sales, but I'm sorry, I got pulled off track by this interesting amulet. That is very synergistic for a crit build. You could craft, if you just wanted more life out of it, you could maybe craft strength on that, I think. Yeah, that's got suffixes. You could craft resist. I mean, you could just deal with the fact that it's like, what is that? 48, almost 50 life? Yeah. And then you get all that juicy damage out of it with the cast speed and the crit and all that. You could do like some sort of crit spellcasting build, honestly. Like, you could use that with Dark Pact if you can take the hit in life. Which is probably the most popular build I would want to use. That's a nice amulet. We're going to price check it and find out how much it's worth. It's lacking in the defensive department, that's fine. This ring is having an identity crisis. And part of that identity is very, very unsellable in the form of life gained on kill. Nothing good there. 17 life. Means I toss you. Oh well. So we got a few interesting bits and pieces here. You've perked my attention back up. I don't know. I guess I was going to put it up for 1C. I don't know. I'm not enthusiastic about that. Nor about that. But you know what? These are all potential sellers to a very, very strange buyer. Let's get rid of the crit and multi with fire skills, shall get out of my inventory. Go. You're a disappointment, and I don't want to see you again. You'd better do better. Do better than your brother. I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they are. I can't tell. But we got fire damage. That's 3 damage props that can synergize beautifully. That is going to go up for 5 chaos. And you, as I said, are going under the Vol. Come out better. Or the same. That also works. Again, just 5 chaos. I don't know what to price you at, though. We're going to save you for the end of the episode, so get in your box. And the rest of you are coming with me. Or probably going with Navali. Probably going with Navali. But we'll find out, won't we? Try to achieve something with your lives. Reduce flask charges, life resist on a rustic sash base. That gets my attention. I'm got my blood pumping, but then I see 31 life. And once again, I am relegated to the sidelines, hat in hand. That is a garbage belt for garbage people. And I don't sell to garbage people. No, garbage men do a great job, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm 116 life. With some cast speed, some spell damage, throw a little bit of resist on that, maybe a bit of int. I don't know who would want this, but seems pretty good. Yeah, it doesn't seem amazing, but seems pretty good. We could try and sell it. You're garbage. The belt, not you guys. You guys are awesome. Loath Gyre, Diamond Ring, Accuracy, Dex, ES. And a wonderful mana gained on kill. That was sarcasm, by the way. It's not good. ES is not particularly in meta. I don't think you'll sell. Rip. Taxi with maces, no. Bad life, no movement speed. Good movement speed, no life. And nothing to speak of. Okay. So. Just start you at 5, I guess. We move on now to the next segment of our show, but we're going to start it a little differently than usual. I got an interesting drop earlier on. I was doing a Torah mission in a T15 or 16 map, an eye level 82 zone, so that would be a T15, yeah. Or no, it would have to be, whatever. I was doing a Torah mission. It was a high enough level zone that the Torah mission was one level higher than the zone, and a monster dropped this, an eye level 84 bone helmet. This is not something you see every day. There are very few zones where this can even happen. So I went out, scampered off to PoE trade, and bought myself a deafening essence of fear. Plugged my ears while I did so. Didn't want to, get deafened. Sorry. Terrible. And we are going to right-click this, left-click this, and make magic happen. And even if we don't, I'll probably just scour it and craft it later. But, I figured I'd let some people see the magic. That's going to inevitably be quite disappointing. Reminiscent of a child's birthday party. Boom. Yes. I predicted that very well. It was quite disappointing. Well, that was a waste of 7 chaos, but that's okay. It was a fun waste of 7 chaos, and that's what counts. Where should I put you? In here, in the corner. Sit and think about what you've done. Now next, we have, of course, that amulet we found earlier, but also another one that I had set aside, sort of as a way to figure out exactly how bad it's gotten in terms of ES, because this is an amulet that last league would have sold like a hotcake. A delicious one covered in syrup and stats. But this league, I'm not so sure. 42 ES is a high flat ES roll, but it's got no percent ES, and Its life roll is, as you can see, very disappointing and shriveled. So, what we're going to do is use it as an auger to see just how deep the pit into which Energy Shield has plummeted goes. Let's take a look. So, we're going to start searching for an amulet. It's got 1120 Fizz, which is 31 divided by 2, that's 16-ish or so, so if I can spell, physical damage to attacks. There you are. Let's go with 14 minimum. It's got quite a lot of stats. That is... I wish there was a way to search just altogether for stats. I could just search the all attributes roll. I mean, the dex is nice, but it's not really defining the amulet. It's the fact that it has a 30 all attributes roll. Well, 29. I lied to you all. I'm sorry. There's a 29 all attributes roll. That's giving it so much value. So let's, well, I don't know. We can keep Onyx amulets in the mix doing this. It's going to be almost exclusively Onyx amulets if we do this, but sure. And then 1 good resistance and 42 ES. So let's put in Energy Shield. Minimum of, say, 35. Add a filter group. You guys know the drill. 1 good resist would be just putting in cold, fire, and lightning. I'll put a minimum of 40 on each. And, you know what? I think what we can do is also... This might limit our results quite a bit, but we're going to not life. So we want an amulet that specifically is an ES amulet and doesn't have a life roll, even though ours has 7 life, technically. Let's see what we come up with. Nothing. Yeah. We may have been a little too specific. Let's check offline as well, though. Just see. No. See, this is going... I should have put explicit life here. This is a rookie mistake, guys. So that's going to exclude any amulet with strength, which, since we're searching for all attributes, means all the amulets that we're searching for are going to be excluded. So we just gave it a contradictory search. So let's try that again. All right. Still, we do have a very narrow search, so let's check offline as well. Nothing. All right. Interesting. What if we take this off? Still nothing. Huh. Oh! That would be why. That would be why. You see, I thought I caught myself in a classic blunder, but I didn't realize I was blundering twice over. Classic. All right, let's do this again. 9 results. That's better. That's more like what I want to see. You're very similar to what I have. Very similar. You have a mana roll, actually, which could be useful to someone. You're up for 8 chaos. Maybe that's the price. It's also very similar to what I have, up for 8 chaos. In fact, a little better than what I have, because it has more crafting room. So these two not selling at 8 chaos kind of worries me for the future of this amulet. Though maybe I should try to vol it, guys. If we hit +1 curse, then we might have some value on our hands, especially for the right build. The discerning Energy Shield build out there who would want it. Let's do that. Let's take wild and crazy risks because it is 5:30 in the morning. And because I don't know, I don't really need the money. So, +1 curse, nothing happened. That's the most boring result, right? Nothing happened? Oh no, things happened. I just saw the resist didn't really change. Percent ES, resist, accuracy, lightning damage to attacks, crit chance, and mana? What? Now you're an equally interesting amulet. We're going to have to do this all over again, guys. I told you I set aside 2 items. I just didn't realize they'd be the same item. Let's do this again. Amulet. This time around, percent ES. Percentage increased, maximum energy shield of 14. So let's do a minimum of 12, though also a maximum of 18. No, we don't need a maximum. It doesn't go up that high. Accuracy and crit chance is a nice combo. Lightning damage to attacks is also pretty good, though it's kind of low, but that's what a wander would be looking for. There's not many ES wanders out there, though. And resistance roll. 1 good resist. See, I wish I could just make it remember this. If there's any gurus with PoE trade out there who know of a way to do this a little more efficiently, get in touch. No, I don't need 42 apostrophe. I'm not sure what that would be. Let's put in accuracy and crit. We don't have particularly high rolls, so we're just going to see, like, any amount. Nothing. Did I count? Again. Okay, that's better. Hey, 1 chaos. That's not good to see. That's got 20% he has. And a good resist, accuracy, an LE damage roll to attacks, and crit chance. So it looks like we took a Vol Orb and scrubbed off the value from our amulet, which happens more often than I'd like. We're going to put it up for 2 chaos and see whether somebody bites over time. And now, for the last attraction of the night, let's take a look at Hate Locket. Yet another amulet. It's been an amulet-themed night. You got cast speed, crit chance, crit multi, and life, which are things I do like to see. Critical strike chance and multi. Critical strike multi. How much do you have? 34 multi, 37 chance. Those are both pretty decent rolls. I'm just going to put in a minimum of 30 on each of these. And then life. We're going to put in a minimum of 40, but also a maximum of 55. Since the life roll is kind of what defines this amulet most. And then really just, out of curiosity, any amount of cast speed. Let's see what we come up with. 1 result, up for 30C. Pardon me, 30C. That one's got crafted life on it and a little bit of extra boost from the strength. Better cast speed roll than ours, that is tier 1, as well as some fizz damage to attacks, which could help it out to the right buyer, but that's not relevant for the market I'm trying to get to, which is probably Dark Pact. So, let's see if first we can just check offline, since we have such a small pool of results. 30 quickly becomes 48, and without too much change, actually, a higher life roll. How much life do we actually have? 41 plus 14. Did I transition over? I did not. Hang on. This is the first amulet I was talking about here. This is the one that's online. We're searching offline as well here, though, because we had such a small collection of amulets. But yes, we've got just about 50 life. We can somewhat reasonably compare it to... no, not this. This has spell damage. Cast speed, crit multi, and mana life 65, but that's been up for 2 weeks without selling. This has been up for 3 weeks without selling. Now, admittedly, these people may just not have come back online after listing them after a few days, because they are, of course, offline now, but still somewhat useful. And this guy listed it 2 days ago, so he might still be actively playing, and that's at 30 chaos. And this is somewhat better. It's got less room for crafting than ours because of the 2 prefixes. In fact, he had to craft on the life, which does pull it down somewhat. So I think we're more in this range, sort of, but it's hard to tell. Let's push the upper band of life and see what we find. So just push this up to 70 and go back to being online only. 2 results. Same one from earlier and an unpriced one. Alright, this is a toughie. 10 results now. 3C for you, which is quite cheap, I think. Interesting. Yeah, that's quite cheap, especially, like, look at the field of competitors for it. This guy, if he ever comes back online, might get a few offers sent his way, I imagine. Go up to 61 life, a little bit more because of the all attributes adding some strength, and we're at 50 chaos. So I think we can comfortably list this at, say, 30, actually. Because a lot of these haven't sold, and they've been listed for quite a while. 11 hours ago, 28x. You might be reaching a bit far, friend. Might be reaching a bit far. I'm going to go with 30 chaos. And that's my final offer. And that is also going to be my final item of the stream. So, thank you to everybody who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can always watch more of this very same series just by scrolling backwards through the history of the YouTube channel. I release them just about every other day. Sometimes there's gaps when I'm working on other content, but I try to keep the series pretty regular. As well as that, I do keep my stream pretty damn regular too. I stream every night over on twitch.tv/Octavian0, and you can find a link to that right in the description alongside all of my other various links. One other shout out that I would like to give is actually to a little something that my girlfriend has put together. I generally don't like plugging these sorts of things, just, you know, financially motivated things in general. But essentially, I live in Houston, and Hurricane Harvey has just recently swept through the city, as you may be aware if you're plugged in at all to media and the internet. And in the aftermath of the storm, a stray cat, which has lived on our porch for a good few years, ended up back on our porch with a broken foot, and we decided to take her in. She's not been doing great. We took her to the vet, and initially they said that they thought she would need surgery, but we took her back another week later or another few days later, I think it was. I'm bad with the passing of time. But another few days later, I think it was, to check up on her again and, you know, schedule the surgery. And the vet actually changed his mind. He only has her in a cast, but it is for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And, well, the hurricane refurbishment has put more of a toll on our finances than usual, and taking in the cat has been a little bit more than we can handle. Now, please don't feel obligated to donate anything yourself, but there is a link to a GoFundMe in the description of this video, and even if you could just share that on whatever platform you have access to, your Facebook, your Twitter, anything like that, it would mean the world to us, and I'd be incredibly thankful. So yeah, that's really it. I will not be plugging anything like that more often in the future. I try to avoid that sort of thing on the channel. I like to keep it strictly Path, but you know, times are tough at points. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you either in the next episode or on my stream. One way or the other, I just hope to see you again. Have a good night, folks, and I'll see you next time.